Good Friday, everyone. Emil here. I want to give you guys a update on my chemo. So I got round two yesterday, and that went a little better as far as receiving the treatment during the whole process. Last time they had to stop and give me some type of steroids because one of the particular drugs that they were giving me, started having cold chills and respiratory issues, and it felt like friggin' spiders were crawling all over me. So that was kind of weird. This time I didn't experience that. It was a little better. So all in all, it went well. I did have some issues late last night with nausea, and all in all, so good. It's the first day after the chemo. Now, I do have this shot thing on my arm, and it's the weirdest thing. So they put that on your arm, and it feels like a rubber band. 3 to 5 minutes, it actually injects the needle into you by itself. It feels like you're being popped with a rubber band, so it's not a big deal. It just kind of catches you off guard a little bit. But 27 hours, so 6 o'clock tonight, this thing goes off, and all of the meds go into my system. Then I can take that. Then I'm complete with round two. So what we're doing now is we're trying to be more proactive with trying to keep the white blood cells out. There's been a lot of people reaching out to me about that, with the functional medicine side as well as the modern medicine side. And, so for all that information coming into us, man, it's greatly appreciated. So my experience so far with chemo has been quite interesting. When my white blood cells crash like that, it just makes you super fatigued, super weak. It's supposed to isolate, kind of like COVID, I guess, where you don't go around people or any of that kind of crap. This time I met with the oncologist 2 days before my treatment, and he advised us, he says, look, your white blood count will probably go to 0 this time and all this. So what I'm trying to do is be proactive as I possibly can. Now, they did give me more antibiotics, and I cannot take those until after or on the 7th day after chemo. So I can't take those antibiotics right now. And by the way, those antibiotics that they're giving me are straight up no good for your kidney or your liver. And how can they prescribe something that hurts you worse? Anyway, it just is what it is. So we're really leaning on the functional medicine, and we've got a whole list of things that you can take. Now, when you have chemo, the R-CHOP chemotherapy like I'm receiving, you can only take certain things. You can't take all the supplements that you were taking in the beginning when you are not having chemo. So that's super important. By the way, I'm a doctor. I am not a doctor. I'm TrackMan. I don't know anything about this other than what I'm learning from you guys, from our own research, from the functional medicine side of things, and from the oncologist. So I'm just sharing my personal experience, and maybe there's somebody out there that this can benefit you guys if you're going through it or know someone that's going through it. I can tell you what's working better for me and what's not working so well, or what I'm struggling with. And so certainly the chemotherapy is the thing that I'm struggling with. Now, we'll tell you this. So this is round 2 of 6. So I'm supposed to get 6 rounds of this. After my 3rd round, I get a PET scan. They scan you to see where you're at and see how the chemo is affecting the tumors and if they're reducing in size and everything. So hopefully by round 3, I get the PET scan and we get great news. We get good news. We'll take whatever news as long as it's working, Now, I will contribute a lot of this to the functional side of things because at this time, backing up to my PET scan, I think the first week of September, whenever it was, they found all the tumors. None of them are in my organs. And at that time, it was also not in my bone marrow. So those are positives. But the kicker is there's a specific blood test that they do in Europe, and that blood test can tell you exactly what you can and cannot take. And of course, functional doctors know all this of what you can take and what you can't take during the R-CHOP treatment. And so there's a certain number of days that have to pass after you receive your treatment before you can do all of the other things. And all of those other things combined, it's my understanding that it will help kill the cancer stem cells, which, by the way, I don't think the chemo actually kills your stem cells. It just kills the cancer cells themselves. This type of lymphoma that I have is a blood cancer, so it's in your blood system. And even though you flush out all of the cancer cells from your blood, it's my understanding the stem cells stay inside your bloodstream and they're harder to kill and harder to get rid of. So in order to get this thing out of you and get it cured, you can take the functional medicine that's supposed to help in certain things and eliminate that. And then, of course, diet. You need a good diet. No sugars, no carbs, no any of that kind of stuff. No junk foods. They say raw vegan is the best, but all I can tell you is vegetables are sad. They make you sad when you eat nothing but raw vegetables. Makes you very sad, especially people that eat meat like myself. Lots of red meat, fish, some chicken. I really don't care for chicken, especially breast is the worst part of the chicken ever. Breast should be chopped off for the chicken, thrown in the garbage, and you should only be able to eat the dark meat. That's my opinion. Anyway, some of the things that have happened during the treatment, you always hear you're going to lose your hair, this and that. And so I'm thinking, man, nothing's going to happen to me because it's already been 2 weeks after my first treatment. I haven't lost any hair. Well, about 5 nights ago, I was washing my hair that morning, took a shower, got out. I put some hair paste in my hair to kind of spike it up a little bit. And my hands were covered in hair. It was kind of a gross moment. And I was like, what the hell is going on? And so my hair is and now it's all splotchy and everything. So the next day I shaved it all off because it was just coming out that fast. And it went from not coming out at all to now it's literally falling out. Now my goatee, all of that is falling out as well. And I hear the eyebrows go too. So what I'm going to do is maybe call one of my buddies, call Ronnie over at the tattoo shop and have him tattoo me some eyebrows on and maybe some fake hair tattoo, like I've got hair up there, and see how that goes. Or get a wig. My son Will, he has long hair, so I told him, I said, well, cut your damn hair, and that'll kind of be a punishment for me to have to wear your hair on my head during this time until my hair grows back. Now, after you receive the last treatment, it takes 6 to 8 weeks for your hair to start coming back. They say that it will come back, maybe all of it, maybe part of it. Who knows? I don't know. We'll see after I'm done. But I think it would just be funny for me to have to wear his wig during that time. But, we'll see. I'll be like one of those, what do you call those cats that have no skin, I'll be like a shaved rat running around without hair. So anyway, yeah, and I also talked to another good friend of mine, Peter. He has a graphic shop, Bonehead Graphics. And he and I have been friends for years and years, since Mills Road. But we were talking, I said, look, just make me some stickers. You can make some stickers and a sticker for my head, and it'll look like hair. Get me one of those handlebar mustaches and maybe a sombrero, and I can be Trackman Sombrero Man, or whatever, and just kind of have fun with it instead of seeing the negative. Then you can have some fun with it. So if you guys got any wigs, any ideas, send them over, and we'll just have fun with the no hair. The hairless Trackman running around on the bulldozer. Anyway, I just thought that was kind of funny and interesting. But the hair, as far as my physical being right now, I feel good, a little bit weak. Definitely had a tough night last night. But all in all, it's good. It could be worse, I guess, But, just trying to stay positive and keep you guys informed. I'll let you know all of the supplements I am taking during the RCHOP and let you know what my regimen is and how I think it's working for me. I want to back up a little bit and tell you I did start taking functional medicine about 45 days before my first treatment. And then after that, you have to stop a lot of those supplements like the ivermectin, the methylene blue, the mebendazole, and a couple of others. You cannot take the black seed oil. My body, my particular type of cancer, does not react well with some other type of seed oil that's very popular. Anyway, off the top of my head, I can't remember it. But nonetheless, the point is once you get that blood test done in Europe, it'll tell you everything that you should take and what works best for your blood type for this. And it's very detailed and it breaks it all out. Once again, no doctor. I'm just telling you what has worked for me. I feel this. I only had one tumor in the beginning in April. By the time July 1st got here, I got my needle-guided biopsy because of where the tumor was at. When I had my CT scan in April, it was 6.7 centimeters. By the time I got my biopsy, needle-guided biopsy with CT scan, it was 4.4 centimeters, 4.5 weeks later. And by the way, after that, the day after I got my needle-guided biopsy, I got the bone marrow biopsy, and it came back clean. Nothing's in my blood, in my bone marrow, which is good. And fast forward to the PET scan, and then I have 5 tumors, and they're all much larger than it was in the beginning. They're 7.3, 7.5, 8.1, and they're attached to my lymph nodes in certain areas of my body. And by the way, it's a different kind of pain that you could ever experience. It's more like a stabbing pain. It's not constant. However, it comes in waves. Like you'll be fine, and 30 minutes later, you will not be fine at all. And so anyway, you're just dealing through that whole process. So fast forward, get my first round of R-CHOP, and I'm noticing that my pain, all of that stabbing pain that's going on, is residing, it's going down. And after the second week of having received the R-CHOP, and once again, then I'm back on my supplements, I'm not in pain like I was then. Now, this go around right now, a little bit of pain, a little bit of nausea, but I think that's because of the chemotherapy injection. I don't know. Couldn't tell you. But all in all, I feel better. I feel good. We're just hoping the white blood cells stay up, and we'll keep you up to date. And once again, if this helps anybody, if you guys want to know what I'm taking or have any suggestions, man, just hit us up in the comments. And as always, be blessed. We will see you guys soon. Peace out.